in terms of the game, like obviously, Vancouver, they're, one of the best teams in the league this year, won the division. Um, just in terms of kind of looking at them and their roster, Flyers will play them twice in a week. They'll play them this Friday, and then next Saturday, and then they're done with them for the year. Um, it's funny, the Flyers go there and it's their home opener, and then they come here and it's our home opener, which is kind of crazy how that opens up. But Canucks again, like they're a good team on paper. They have a lot of high end guys, Pedersen, Besser, and then obviously you have Hughes, Hronek. I think they are a little. I think they're kind of. It's weird for me with Vancouver because I really like Edmonton for the Pacific. I know we talked about that. I feel like the Canucks are probably one of those teams that could definitely be top three in the Pacific again. I think they're obviously really keen on Demko, and if he's healthy, it doesn't look like he'll be healthy to start the year, but at least I think it's good for the Flyers to kind of get them out of the way. They actually had two really good games against them last year. I think one of their best games of the season was actually in Vancouver last year, in my opinion. It was a 4-1 win. They just played really solid, and just overall was a good game. But any obviously you have two guys making their debut, 𝐊𝐕𝐂𝐒, Luchenko. Just any thoughts overall, just kind of going into this one Friday?
Yeah, I mean, again, you kind of don't know that, kind of everybody's wondering what they have, right? You probably
Yeah.
wondering what they have, but kind of, you touched on Quinn Hughes, their captain, who's certainly a very exciting player to watch. Kind of is, he's a real, he rolls around the ice pretty good. He gets around the ice and he's pretty electric when he has the puck and he's skating with it. So, and so we seem to be a good. I mean, they scored, in their top 7 or 8 and scored goals for last year. So they score and they have a decent power play, right? So they have some pretty good parts on their power play. So it's hard to say individually. They don't kind of how I haven't paid that much attention to their lineup or seen kind of how they got out of the gates, but it's a daunting task. And I mean, at least you do get to reciprocate a little bit. You sit there for a half hour and screws up your pregame stuff, and then you get to have them to your place and screw it up or screw up their pregame, and wait for your home opener. So, so it's, again, like it's hard to say with everybody just coming out of the gate. I'm giving them, like I say, my prediction, I gave them a 4-2 win with empty netter just on the basis that they're at home, and at home
Yeah.
opener might have a little more juice, so, but, who knows, and again, probably, it's trying to, you're trying to match these power plays. It's because probably the most exciting thing will be like, hey, does this power play look different tonight? And
Yeah.
is this something to be excited about again? And Rockies does great. These guys beat their heads against the wall trying to figure this stuff out too. So obviously, within the organization, they feel he's doing a good job and looking under every rock he can to figure this thing out. So obviously, 𝐊𝐕𝐂𝐒's going to be a big help to that. So that'll be good for certain. Was that 5% jump, 10%? Who knows?
Probably.
Yeah.
I hope so, yeah. I mean, and again, like we talked about it, like in the preseason, like you saw a change in just how how the movement was, and it was just exciting to see. And I think that's kind of what I'm getting at too. Like I'm not expecting much, win or lose. I honestly just put that they would win because you put loss just to kind of see like what people would say. But I'm just more excited just to see how the first couple games kind of go, and then obviously 𝐊𝐕𝐂𝐒 and Luchenko. Like I'm all for Luchenko now. I'm like I was a little bit against it, but I'm not going to harp on him if it's what I mean. It's for me, it's a good thing that he made the team. You know what I mean? Like it's not one of those things where it's like, well, like you could say like that the Flyers are making the wrong move or something like that. But I feel like if you're able to kind of see what he does and you see how it plays out, then kind of go from there. And really same thing with 𝐊𝐕𝐂𝐒. Like it's two guys that it's making their debut and all, and just overall, I just think it's honestly just exciting, like just to see like kind of what's kind of going on. And again, it's just a small taste of the future, really. So
Right. And I mean, right. Whether you think it's a mistake or not, you got to root for the guys, right? You want to see them do well,
exactly, yeah,
have success. And, it's a nice little storyline. It's something to watch, a little bit of a pop coming into the year. And then, again, like there's a plethora of guys that need to prove themselves, in the middle of that
mhm,
lineup, there's a ton of guys that somebody's got to separate themselves a little bit, here. And I mean, there are a couple guys that are above other guys, but for me, it feels like there's a bit of a clutter in there. You want to see how Bobby Brink plays here, and Frost. What can they do?
Cates.
Cates, when he gets his chances, when he gets a chance to be in the lineup, what can he do? And then you have Scott Lawton, who's a veteran guy, and what's his role going to be this year? And so there's going to be a lot of movement, a lot of internal stuff, and your team that starts October, whatever date they start, the 10th,
11.
Friday,
Yep.
whatever. That team will be much different in December, and December seems to be much different looking than the team in March. So
Yep.
it's whether it's through trades or ups and downs and good play, bad play, who's on the ice at certain times, it'll be different. So yeah, it'll be interesting. I guess the one thing, and I want to make sure that Michkov, like, it's hard. You come in and you got expectations. You're going to try and do too much and try and hang on to the puck too long and cheat too much, and then nobody wants to stifle his creativity, and obviously nobody's going to do that. But you still got to be an NHL player every day, and it's not, can't sell the farm and be cheating and trying to do all that stuff. So getting to know his personality as a player a little bit more, watching, seeing what he reverts to and what he likes to do and how he likes to go about his business will become more and more evident for sure in the next 4 to 5 games.